Manchester today is a city of contrasts. Glass towers rise where factory chimneys once blackened the sky. Music spills from basements and arenas. Football loyalties divide families. Scientists split atoms, while echoes of industry still cling to brick walls. This is a city that feels modern, yet everywhere you walk, the past is just beneath your feet. This is Manchester, a place known across the world for music and football, for rivalry and reinvention, for ideas that changed how humans live, work, and think. But Manchester wasn't always like this. Long before the stadiums, long before the mills, long before the music, this place was wilderness. No skyline, no streets, no city at all. So how did Manchester go from an empty riverside bluff to the world's first industrial city? How did it become a place that helped power an empire, inspire political revolutions, and reshape the modern world? To answer that, we have to go back, not hundreds of years, not even 1,000, nearly 2,000 years. In this video, you're going to travel through the entire story of Manchester, from its very beginning to the city we know today. You'll watch a Roman fort rise from the mud on the edge of empire. You'll see a medieval market town slowly emerge from obscurity. You'll witness the birth of the Industrial Revolution, a transformation so powerful it changed human civilization forever. And you'll follow Manchester through decline, destruction, and rebirth into the modern global city it is today. And for the first time, we can do more than just talk about the past. Using AI technology, we can transform old engravings, maps, and photographs into vivid, realistic scenes, bringing Manchester's lost worlds back to life before your eyes. The smoke, the noise, the crowds, the streets that no longer exist. So imagine stripping the city back layer by layer, removing the glass, the concrete, the steel, until all that remains is forest, river, and stone. Because Manchester's story doesn't begin with factories, or football, or fame. It begins with an empire pushing north and a Roman fort rising from the wilderness. Let's go back to the year 79 AD. Let's begin with the Romans.
The year is 79 AD. Far to the south, Rome rules an empire that stretches from the deserts of North Africa to the forests of Germany. But here, in the far northwest of Britain, Rome's grip is far from secure. This is frontier land, cold, wet, hostile. Roman legions are pushing northward, attempting to control territory that refuses to be tamed. The local tribes know this landscape intimately, the marshes, the rivers, the wooded hills. Rome does not. To hold what they've conquered, the Romans need forts, strong points, places of order in a wild land. And so they choose this spot, a sandstone bluff overlooking the meeting point of two rivers, the Medlock and the Irwell. From here, you can watch movement along key routes between the Roman fortresses at Chester and York. You can control trade, you can control troops, you can control rebellion. The local Brigantes tribe calls this place something like breast-shaped hill. The Romans Latinize it, Mamucium. At first, it's nothing impressive, a rectangle carved into the earth, earthen ramparts, wooden palisades, ditches dug by hand. Inside, space for about 500 auxiliary soldiers, not elite Roman citizens, but troops recruited from across the empire. Men from modern-day Spain, Germany, even North Africa, now stationed thousands of miles from home. Life here is hard. This isn't Rome with its marble temples and sunlit forums. This is rain, mud, and bitter winters. Supplies arrive slowly. Letters from home arrive rarely. But the fort grows stronger. Wood gives way to stone. Barracks, Granaries, workshops take shape. Order is imposed on the landscape, and outside the fort's walls, something else begins to form. A vicus, a civilian settlement, traders selling food and tools, craftspeople making pottery and leather goods, families of soldiers, an inn for official travelers, a bathhouse, because even on the edge of the world, Romans bathe. A few hundred people at most, but this is the first community here, the first heartbeat of what will one day become a city. For nearly 2 centuries, Mamucium survives. Empires rise and fall elsewhere, but here life continues quietly. Then, around 410 AD, everything changes. Rome collapses. The legions are recalled. The bureaucracy vanishes. The supply lines snap. And just like that, Mamucium is abandoned. Stone buildings are stripped for materials. Roads crack and disappear beneath vegetation. The civilian settlement empties out. Within a generation, Rome's presence here is gone. All that remains are ruins and silence. Manchester's story nearly ends before it truly begins.
When the Romans leave, they don't hand power to anyone. They simply disappear. The roads they built begin to crumble. The stone fort is slowly dismantled, its blocks reused by whoever comes next. Nature reclaims the land, and for centuries after Rome's collapse, Manchester slips into darkness. History goes quiet. We know almost nothing about this place for hundreds of years. No chronicles, no great battles, no kings or councils. Mamucium fades into memory, its name slowly changing as languages shift and empires vanish. Latin becomes Old English. Mamucium becomes Mamecester, then Momchester, and eventually Manchester. There is probably a small Anglo-Saxon settlement here, perhaps a wooden church, a handful of farms clinging to slightly higher ground to avoid the floods. But if you were standing here around the year 900, you wouldn't see a city, you wouldn't even see a town. Just a cluster of buildings surrounded by marshland and forest, living quietly beside the rivers. In 1066, the Normans conquer England. 20 years later, William the Conqueror orders a survey of his new kingdom. The Domesday Book, compiled in 1086, records nearly everything worth taxing. Manchester barely makes an impression. It's listed as part of the Manor of Salford. No castle, no major market, no significance. The population? Perhaps a few hundred people at most. For centuries after the Romans, Manchester is not important, not powerful, not wealthy. But history doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes transformation begins quietly. In 1222, something small but crucial happens. The local lord is granted permission to hold a market. It doesn't sound dramatic, but markets mean trade. Trade means money, and money attracts people. Slowly, stalls cluster around a market cross. Homes appear nearby. Paths become streets. A parish church rises on the site of earlier wooden churches, the ancestor of what will one day become Manchester Cathedral. By medieval standards, it's still tiny. In 1400, maybe 1,500 people live here. The streets are muddy. Flooding is constant. The rivers overflow. Disease is common. Manchester is agricultural, unremarkable, and largely ignored by the rest of England. But beneath the mud and marshland, something is beginning to root. Because while Manchester may lack power or prestige, it has wool, and that small advantage will slowly pull it back into history.